For anyone watching this back, hello, welcome to the awkward part of the live where I'm here by myself. So welcome to the recording of the live that will be up on my channel after the live has finished. I literally have not announced this, so I could be here by myself for quite some time. So if you are using this later as a sprint to complete your sprint prompt, then I think we have someone here. Hello, I am doing this rather impromptu live show in case anybody wants to satisfy their Bridge 4 prompt for SHARDATHON. Here is your live show to do so. In fact, it doesn't even matter if you don't do any reading. The fact that you are here means that you have completed that particular prompt. I may have some co-hosts join me at some point, but I think a lot of them are otherwise engaged this evening. Time zones and all that, I suppose it's afternoon for them, really, most of them. Only really evening for myself and Joanna. But here I am. I have just filmed my... Hi, Angela. I have just filmed my May Illumicrate unboxing. So my plan is that I'm going to be on live while I edit and upload that and do all of that stuff. And then I will also... I want to finish my book. Basically, how long of my book do I have left? I think I have about an hour. So I might be here for a little while on live, I mean. Yeah. Let's see. Yes, I have just over an hour of my book left. So plan is edit and upload a video first and then finish my book, hopefully. So that's the plan. Whether or not I manage to stay on live that whole time, we'll see. But that is my intention. How are you? How are you doing? I'm also going to share this. Oh, training for what? Training is always exhausting. I am also very tired from work. I fell asleep on the tube on my way to work today, and I kind of snooze on the underground quite frequently, but it's not very often that I fully fall asleep. And I fully fell asleep, like that moment where you wake up and you don't know where you are and you don't know what's happening. I woke up, I was like, where am I? Oh, it's okay, I'm on the tube on the way home. And then I realised, no, you're actually just on the way to work. So, you know, that was fun. I'm glad you enjoyed the training though, that's good. Hello, got a couple more people have joined us this evening. Welcome to this live sprint. If you're here to kick off some prompts, then just by being here, by logging in, you have satisfied the Bridge 4 prompt on the bingo board, so you can tick that one off. Stephanie is here in the chat. Hello, I'm not at home, so I might be in and out, but I wanted to join for a bit. Welcome. See, the thing is I use the same train every single day, and I have been doing for a long time. So it's kind of like clockwork for me. And if I fall asleep on it, it's not really a big deal because chances are I will wake up before I need to get off the tube, which I did do. So hello, Naomi, welcome. just going to share this link in my stories. So I was just saying before that I have some editing to do because I just filmed my Illumicrate unboxing for May. So I filmed that. Now I'm going to edit that, and then I am also going to finish my book, hopefully. So I might be on live for a little bit. We shall see how long I can manage to stay awake. It's about 8:45 in London right now, so it's starting to get dark out. I'll probably have to close the curtains at some point, but that is fine. Also, I look super orange because I have the orange blue light blocker thing on my computer screens, so it reflects onto my face and makes me look like I've got a dodgy spray tan. So sorry about that, but I have not had a dodgy spray tan. I am still pale as a ghost, so you know, there's that. How is everybody's reading going? I posted earlier. I am currently reading Race to the Sun? Yeah, Race to the Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse, which will satisfy, what is it going to satisfy? It's going to satisfy Relaine for sure. I haven't actually figured out if it satisfies anything else yet, so why don't I do that now? Prepared as always. So, I mean, yeah, it will satisfy Kaladin, so reluctant hero for sure. Syl, companion trope. Teft, mentor trope, I think. Rock features food, yes. Lopen, no. Moash, no. Scar, kind of. Sigil, oh, it is. It's a retelling. It's a retelling of Navajo mythology. Neurodivergent rep, I don't think so. It's not a second chance read because I'd never even heard of this book before I was researching it. Dre, queer rep, no. Hobber, humorous, not particularly. Relaine, as I said, for the Indigenous rep. Side carry, beneficial, potentially. Sprint, hooray, here we are. We have Sprint. And challenging read, no, not particularly, so it doesn't satisfy Cousin Duty either. But that is what I am currently reading. It's my third book for SHARDATHON. Stephanie is reading Air Awakens, and you haven't figured out which prompts it will fill. I don't really do that until I'm partway through the book, to be honest. The prompts are so wide that you can kind of read whatever you want and then you can find things to make it fit for. Well, thanks, Angela. I don't look like a fake tan gone wrong. That's good to know. Need to finish the last revival of Opal and Nev, I think. It's really good. Yay! We love it when we have a good book. I adore Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. See, I did think about doing Black Sun instead, but I'm feeling a little bit book hungover from reading The Justice of Kings by Richard Swan, which I really enjoyed, by the way. I really, really liked it, but it was a heavy fantasy, so I felt like I wanted a couple of not heavy fantasies before I inevitably dive back into heavy fantasy. Okay, so my footage has transferred over to my computer, so I can start editing. So I might pop us on a reading sprint for a little bit while I get started with this editing process. Without choking on air would be better. If you wanted me to, I could actually share my screen and show you the editing process. I mean, you may not be interested in that, but if you are, let me know in the chat. I can always do that. But I think, why don't we go for maybe 20 minutes or just under 20 minutes initially. 3, 2. There we go. So we sprint until 10 past. Is that how people usually do that? Yeah, Opal and Nev. I thought so. Okay, cool. So I'm going to put myself on mute. Not that it really matters because I'm like the only one here. And then we will chat at 10 past. I'll keep an eye on it. If you want me to share my screen, then I can, but it will be spoilers for my video. So any hoodle, let's do it. Happy reading, everyone. Okay, so that was our first sprint. Let me know what you did, if you did some reading, how much reading did you do, if you did something else, what did you do? I've edited probably about 2/3 of my video, so I'm nearly there with that. So I should be able to finish that in the next sprint and hopefully do all of the admin-y type bits like the description and the thumbnail and that kind of thing. So all good there. In fact, maybe I'll just continue editing while I wait for you all to let me know how you got on with that little sprint we just did. I read one chapter and it's really hard at the moment because, oh, racism, fun. But it's like, it's, you know, the characters are experiencing it. It's not like the author's being racist, right? I'm pretty sure that book is BIPOC authored. Oh. To close my curtains. But either way, not super fun to read. Can't really tell you about what I read because I don't read anything. Set in the 1970s and the female main character is black. Okay. Yeah. Not a great time, although has there ever been a great time to be black? Probably not. Maybe a long time ago, but not in recent history. So I think because the book I'm reading it's Indigenous, it's not really own voices because Rebecca Roanhorse isn't Navajo, but I think her husband is Navajo, so you know she's able to draw on him for knowledge of that particular culture, and then she is herself Indigenous, so she understands what it is to be an Indigenous person. But because it's middle grade, it's not really diving into that kind of conversation that could happen. Hi, Anya. So it's more focused on kind of the mythology, because it's a mythology retelling and Navajo mythology retelling. Although, you know, they don't see it that way. They don't see mythology in the traditional sense that you would think of the word mythology as describing. It's in Navajo culture or Indigenous culture generally, I think it's just, you know, the stories of their ancestors. So it's a retelling, I guess, of the stories of their ancestors, and so it's focused more so on that and the adventure and the culture, I guess, to a certain extent. So yeah, there are some own voices reviews for it on YouTube as well, which I found when I was deciding whether or not I wanted to pick it up, because I do tend to be a little bit cautious with that kind of thing, and it's one of the Rick Riordan Presents books, so I was pretty confident it would be okay, but I did want to just check out a couple of reviews as well. Becca is great on drawing from Indigenous stories. I also enjoyed Trail of Lightning. Trail of Lightning I've heard of. Is that one a... I have it in my head that that one's a romance, but I could be making that up. I really could be making that up. Let me have a little look on Goodreads. On my second screen here. I'm very lucky to have 2 screens. Trail of Lightning. Sixth World, Book 1. While most of the world is drowned beneath the sudden rising waters of a climate apocalypse, Dinata, formerly the Navajo Reservation, has been reborn. The gods and heroes of legend walk the land, but so do monsters. Maggie Hosky is, I'm really sorry, I'm pronouncing that very wrong. Dinata, monster hunter, a supernaturally gifted killer. When a small town needs help finding a missing girl, Maggie is their last and best hope. But when Maggie uncovers the monster, what Maggie uncovers about the monster is much larger and more terrifying than anything she could imagine. Maggie reluctantly enlists the aid of Kai Arviso, an unconventional medicine man, and together they travel to the res to unravel clues from ancient legends, trade favours with tricksters, and battle dark witchcraft in a patchwork world of deteriorating technology. As Maggie discovers the truth behind the disappearances, she will have to confront her past if she wants to survive. Welcome to the Sixth World. That sounds great. And yes, paranormal romance, main character is a monster hunter, which is actually really quite interesting because the Rebecca Roanhorse book that I'm reading right now, Race to the Sun, is also about a monster hunter. So there we go. She clearly has a thing that she likes to do. Hello, welcome. I think I'm going to do another sprint in a minute because I want to finish editing this video. So anybody fancy sprinting again? Maybe this time we go until, oh no, 40 minutes past. Gives us a nice long sprint there. Let me know if you have any questions or things you want to talk about. But I think failing that, let's have a little sprint, shall we? I am not going anywhere. I'm literally sat here editing, so if anybody wants to ask or say anything, I'll be keeping my eye on the chat, but otherwise I'm going to pop myself on mute. Happy continued reading, everyone. Hello. Welcome back, welcome back. Hope you had a good read. Always a bit cautious about how I do that welcome back bit because I don't want to scare anyone. I've been caught unawares before. But how did everyone's little sprint go? I managed to finish my editing and I've created my thumbnail for the video that I'm editing and also for this live, which I can't put up until after the live, but at least it's done. And while I was doing all of that stuff, thumbnail stuff, I was listening to my book. So I listened to probably not very long, maybe about 10 minutes, but probably means I'm under the hour left now, which is good. I'm making some progress. How did everybody else's read go? Tell me all. Doing my it's a risk with these lives, unfortunately. It does tend to happen. I apologize. Hopefully I haven't stopped you at a really good bit. I'm just doing my description box for the video I've edited, so apologies for my super clacky keyboard. It's a little bit of a noisy one. Hello, welcome, welcome. What are you reading? Tell us all. Readers like to know what other readers happen to be reading, so it's always good, always good. 6 pages, nothing to sniff at. Plus, I feel like, because you said you were reading June Messiah, that's probably pretty heavy. And I mean, cat's got a cat, you know? That's the way it goes. But yeah, I feel like, I mean, I haven't read June, but it seems like the kind of thing that would be quite dense in terms of reading. Are you reading physically or audibly or both? Ariadne by Jennifer Saint. Very nice, very nice. And took a break from uni work and read a few pages of Scarlet by Marissa Meyer. Is that one of the, what are they called now? You know, the robot-y type fantasy fairy tale retellings? Oh gosh, that's going to annoy me now. What is the name of that series? I want to say The Remnant Chronicles, but that's not it, because that's The Kiss of Deception. Cress is one of them. I don't know. And what book am I listening to? I am listening to Race to the Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse, which is a middle grade book, which I always quite enjoy. Physical read, yeah. So a little bit more on the dense side, I would guess. Lunar Chronicles, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Is it one of those books? Scarlet? I think it's in the Lunar Chronicles, isn't it? I don't know. I haven't read that series. I feel like I kind of missed the boat on that particular one, as I didn't discover BookTube until after that book was, well, that series was super popular, and I just haven't managed to make my way back to it. Okay, so that video is ready to go. So that one will go up. Second book. Okay. And I'm guessing from the title that it's like the Little Red Riding Hood retelling. So are you reading it for Sigil is the question. I would imagine so. have thought so. So, okay, that is my jobs done, so I can just focus on reading now. I probably won't stay until I finish my book. I mean, maybe I will, maybe I won't, because it's 9:45 and I do want to, not go to bed too late because I am very tired, as I mentioned earlier. So, yeah, maybe not. I also like to have something to listen to while I am getting ready for bed, because I basically do all of my reading on audiobook now, virtually. Well, not virtually, I do all of my reading on audio. And I mentioned earlier that I was in a little bit of a book hangover after reading The Justice of Kings by Richard Swan, because I really enjoyed that one. And when you read a book that you really like, it's really difficult to then read something else, because you're like, oh, nothing's ever going to be as good as this. And it wasn't, best thing I've ever read in my whole entire life, Way of Kings, but I did really enjoy it. And so I wasn't really sure what I wanted to read next. So after that, I kind of wanted something a little bit romantic. And then I was still feeling like I wanted something a bit light, which is why I'm reading this one. But I'm not sure what I want to do afterwards. I might read the second Finlay Donovan book. The first one is Finlay Donovan is Killing It. And I'm not sure that I can remember what the second one is called now. Finlay Donovan Knocks Him Dead. So I might read that one next. I have no idea what it would do prompts wise. Which prompts am I going to have left after this? Let's have a look at that. How are you all doing prompts wise? Are you doubling, tripling, quadrupling up? So Reluctant Hero I've done. So Kaladin I've done, Syl I've done, Teft I've done, Rock I've done, Lopen done, Moash done, Scar done, Sigzor will be done with this book, Dabbid done, Leighton I haven't done, so I haven't done a second chance read yet. Drahe is done. Hobber, humorous, so Finlay Donovan could definitely count for humorous, so maybe I'll do that one next for Hobber. Relaine, this one is doing that. Side Carry, I haven't done Beneficial yet, but I do really want to read that collection of short stories, essays called Disfigured. So I'll probably read that one for that. Bridge 4, we're sprinting right now. Yay, so that's done. And then a challenging read. Maybe I will read The Dragon Republic for that one, because, it's a bit heavy on the content, isn't it? Yes, and yes, I just joined, but I'm barely reading lately because of uni. That is okay, Uni is important too. I teach at a university, so, I have to carry the party line and be like, you should study. But it's also important to take breaks, because you will burn yourself out if you don't take breaks. So, do things that you like when you can. It is a good idea to set up those self-care mechanisms, practices, whatever you want to call them, whenever you can, and get into the habit of doing those things, because it's good for you, and it's good for your mental health, and it's good for your well-being. And so if you want to read to relax, and you can read to relax, or even if it's just, spending a few minutes in the shower just focusing on your breathing, it's important. But the great thing about SHARDATHON, if I do say so myself, is that the prompts are super, super broad. So chances are, even if you just read one book, you can satisfy most, if not all, of the prompts, especially if you kind of push the boundaries of the meaning of the prompts, which I actively encourage. completed 2 prompts, and the 2 books I'm currently reading would cover 5 others. Nice. See, so it's super easy for them to double up. Bit stuck for Elaine's prompt. Okay, well, there are lots and lots of options for Indigenous books. It really depends on what kinds of things you like to read, because, I mean, you know, there's indigenous literature in, you know, every genre that you could possibly think of. So, I mean, let us know what kinds of books you like to read, and then maybe we can make some suggestions. I am reading Rebecca Roanhorse for the first time and enjoying myself. Not my favourite middle grade I've ever read, but I like it fine. And the other Indigenous author that I've read from is Darcy Littlebadger. I read Alatsue, and I really enjoyed that. I have A Snake Falls to Earth out from the library, and I'm keen to read that one as well. I'll probably read that soon. Whether I read it within, I probably will read it within Shardathon, but I don't know. Firekeeper's Daughter is another good one for Elaine. Legacy of Loki for retelling. Nice. Ship and Magic finished for a lot of prompts. Yeah, that is true. And June Messiah for Bridge 4. You are here. Hello. What else in terms of, I mean, yeah, like I said, it really depends on what you fancy genre-wise. So let us know, and we can try and give you some suggestions. There are also recommendations videos up from most of the hosts, so you can feel free to check out those videos as well. I think a popular one for the Relaine prompt has been Kaikei, which just came out recently. I think quite a few people have been reading that one for Relaine, and it does definitely interest me, but I think I would struggle a bit more to get hold of it because it's newer, which is why I did not go for that one, because as I just said, I tend to, well, I basically only read on audio these days, and most of that reading happens from the library. And I can tell you now that the hold is 11 weeks for Kaikei at the moment, so not really quick enough for the readathon, unfortunately. So that's why. Usually read fantasy. Definitely check out those videos. No problem. No problem. Do head over and try those. But yeah, for fantasy, I'd say, you know, you can check out Rebecca Roanhorse. She's definitely got quite a lot of books now. And then there's also, as I mentioned, Darcy Littlebadger. So if anybody else knows any SFF Indigenous authors, let me do a little bit of a Google just now. And also another good way to go is anthologies, because you can tend to find that kind of thing in anthologies as well. So one I have is called Meet Me at the Intersection, which is an Australian Indigenous anthology. The word just went straight out of my brain for a second there. Also want to read Kaikei, but at the moment it's 30 euros over here. Yeah, it's the trouble is with newer releases, it can be a little bit difficult. So The Marrow Thieves by Cherry Dimmerline is really popular. Robopocalypse by Daniel H. Wilson sounds, well, the cover looks really interesting. Love Beyond Body, Space and Time, that was the other anthology I was thinking of. Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse, of course, popular one. There's also The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones, or indeed anything by Stephen Graham Jones, although he's more on the kind of horror side of things rather than the fantasy side, but very popular, very popular. I don't think I've read any Stephen Graham Jones because it's on the horror side and I am a massive wimp. So tend to avoid that kind of thing. What else? What else? What else can I find? Mongrels. I've seen that come up a few times. Son of a Trickster. Lots of options. Lots and lots of options. It really just depends on what tickles your fancy. I might read a few more Indigenous books this month since I managed to kind of locate a few different options. I might as well just go ahead and read them. So I've got, as I mentioned before, I've got A Snake Falls to Earth, which is Darcy Little Badger's second book, and then also I have, what is it called now? Feral Nights by Cynthia Latish Smith, which is like a paranormal romance. I need to sneeze. Oh, I hate that when that happens. Ugh. Still choosing my TBR, but I also want to match my psychology major group chat and one of my papers on LGBT in World War II. So it'll be a nice and productive read. Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. 2 birds, 1 stone and all that. Good work. Good work. Well done. Yeah, I haven't picked a TBR. I'm just mood reading. So speaking of reading, shall we have another little sprint? No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Oh, economy. Yikes. Yikes. Okay, shall we have a little sprint, maybe until 20 past? I keep doing that wrong. Sorry. Sound good? Happy reading, everyone. I shall try my best not to scare you when I come back off mute, but no promises. I'm trying not to scare you. Hopefully that was quiet enough. It wasn't too scary. I've realised I was wearing my headphones before and I really didn't need to after I finished editing my video because I'm the only one here that is speaking, so I don't need to hear anyone else. It just feels kind of weird to be on live without headphones on, but I don't actually need them. Anyway, not the point. Let me know how you got on reading wise. I did some reading. How long have I got left now? I think I did about 20 minutes. So I've got about 40 minutes left. So I might just spend a little bit more time here on live and then I might head off because I want to do a little bit of skating in my kitchen before I go to bed. So I don't want to leave it. I don't want to leave it too much later before I do that, considering it's 20 past 10. I'm only going to do sort of 10 minutes and then I'll go and shower and get ready for bed and stuff. But I do want to have a little bit of a skate. I might try and do something a bit more substantial skating wise tomorrow. And then I have class on Sunday and on Monday as well, but it's a skate class on Sunday and on Monday it's roller dance, so a little bit different. And tomorrow, I don't know, maybe I'll try and skate outside. Every time I try it doesn't tend to go particularly well, but I could give it a go. I quite like when I'm listening to audiobooks and I'm not, traveling somewhere or doing something like that. I quite like to watch sort of Instagram reels of people skating, mostly jam skating, to be honest, but I want to be that good one day. Maybe one day I will. But it is good fun. I really enjoy it. It's hard. It's much harder than it looks. Like, not just in terms of difficulty, but also in terms of, it's like a hard workout. It takes more effort, more energy than you might anticipate, or than I had anticipated. I don't know if anyone is still around. It says there's a couple of you here, but sometimes this thing doesn't work properly. Plus, usually the chat is a bit delayed. Yeah, I mean, it is. It's quite. I had a pair of rollerblades when I was a kid, but I really didn't use them very much. I maybe put them on my feet like 2 or 3 times at most, and yeah, I found it quite difficult with those because my feet kind of turn in. I don't have very good foot posture, so it just meant that I was always like leaning in with the rollerblades. So I think that roller skates are better for that for me because there's the more stability side to side, but there's less stability back to front. So I have landed on my butt a few times, and it's not especially nice when it happens. It hurts quite a lot. So yeah, thank you for being here. So yeah, not my fave. I do try to avoid falling over just generally but particularly falling over backwards, I try to avoid because it hurts. I'm pretty sure I've given myself like borderline whiplash a couple of times falling over backwards on my skates. So, not fun, not fun. How did your reading go? If you were doing reading and not doing other adulting type things, which often get in the way of our reading, I have found. Had both. Oh, okay. Interesting. So I always wanted to learn to ice skate when I was younger, but it's really expensive because unlike with roller skating or rollerblading where you just buy the skates and then you can skate wherever, well, not really, but kind of. With ice skating, you can't just ice skate wherever. I mean, unless you live in like a super cold country that has ice naturally all the time, but otherwise you need to go to an ice rink, and that's, expensive. So I did not learn to ice skate. I could kind of ice skate. I was better at ice skating than I was at rollerblading. And yeah, I don't know. I think I'm probably now, I would hope, better at... Did I say? No, I did say I was better at ice skating than rollerblading, and I think I'm now better at roller skating than I was at either of those. But I've been kind of trying to stick to it, so it's a new hobby. I'm thinking I might do a little roller skate collection video on my channel at some point, since I've got like 4 pairs now. Yikes. Whoops. Whoopsies. But yeah, I think I might head off now. So if anybody has any final questions, comments, thoughts, let me know. But this has been fun. We've been live for nearly, coming up on 2 hours. So hopefully we've got some good reading done. I've got some reading done. I've got my video edited and posted. So that's good. Lived near an ice skating place, not that expensive, and you can rent skates there too. Nice. Yeah, because ice skates are a lot more expensive than roller skates. You're welcome. It was fun. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and everybody's able to tick off their Bridge 4 prompt as well, which is good. Okay, I am going to sign off now. Thank you all so much for coming along. If you're watching this back later, then thank you for watching this back later. Hopefully it wasn't too boring. And I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.